Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, the victorious hockey company, and the ever-changing junior hockey discussion group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. This morning, maybe you're on your phone, at your laptop, at your desktop, in your car, wherever you are. Hope that you are enjoying this fine, chilly morning of hockey. Today is Wednesday, January 17th, 2024. And we're going to bring, Tuesdays, we do Tuesday and Wednesday. One might be the vault. One might be I was king, if I were king. Today we're going to do a vault. We talked about this subject before, but it's that time of the year and the art of the trade. What does that really mean? First of all, I want to thank all my folks and friends in Canada, Western Canada, the Midwest, who have been so kind to share this nice winter weather with the good folks in Florida. We don't have ice on our roads this morning, but it is 30 degrees overnight in Orlando. Very nice. Feels like, a nice April day in Anchorage. Kind of nice. A little familiar. Can't go swimming or anything. Can't skate outside. It's too hot to do that. So, it's 30 degrees. Nice springtime weather in the middle of January. Beautiful. So, the art of the trade. The reasoning for a trade can vary. Players are unhappy with the playing time is the biggest cause. Can't get along with some yahoo in the locker room. Maybe it's too many donkeys smoking the vape pipe. Whatever it is, kid wants a different experience, a different environment. Once a situation gets to a boiling point where a player just wants out, usually he talks to the advisor and we begin the process. We communicate with the team. We don't beat around the bush because that can be catastrophic. And we just work with the team and say, listen, this is not really working out. We're not getting enough playing time. He needs to develop. We want to probably go somewhere else. So let's try to get you an asset for this player. This is why I prefer to deal with teams and coaches that we already have a very well-established relationship with, where a trade's not going to damage that relationship. And that happens. Sometimes kids just don't work out. They're coming out of AA or AAA and we think they're going to be a good fit, but the chemistry in the locker room changes from week to week. Kids' behaviors change from week to week as they get more comfortable with the situation that they are in to do different things. Some things are positive, a lot of it is negative. When you're dealing with a team that we're not familiar with, and kids do this, they actually make their own choices, right? We don't make choices for them. We present options. They make the choices. If they make a choice that's outside of our option block, so be it. We got to act accordingly. But when we're dealing with a team we're not familiar with, sometimes that situation can get a little hairy. Let's face it, it's a divorce. It's never a pleasant situation when you're dealing with the hockey players, especially when there's emotion involved. Sometimes you have to get vicious. I don't mean to, but it's better for the team to be mad at me than mad at the kid. If the kid is unhappy, family's unhappy, that happens quite a bit, and I end up taking the bullet, that's okay. I take a lot of bullets. Probably looks like Swiss cheese by this point, but that's okay. Generally, a player's trade request begins with the advisor calling the coach. I'm pretty straightforward. Just the way we do it. The client wants to be traded. I'm going to tell the team he wants to be traded. I'm not going to dance around the subject. Not going to beat around the bush. We're going to get to it. Get a trade done. And it kind of depends on the level of the player. If the player is not doing well and that's causing the issue, then it's usually a pretty easy trade to make. He goes to a team at a lower level or a team that's not doing as well. When a player is not responsive or engaging with management, it forces the organization to wonder what the player is thinking. The player is quiet. He tells his family he wants out, or his mom and dad want him to get out. Team doesn't believe it. The kid's not saying anything. Once again, here comes the big bad advisor having to do the dirty work. Once a trade request is made, the puck is really in the team's end of the ice. They get to facilitate the trade. A lot of times we can work behind the scenes and tell a team that we like for the kid to go to, watch the trade wire. Here's the value of this player, and it makes things go a little smoother. If a player is in his final year of eligibility, the leverage swings to the player. Teams want tenders. They want a future. So you'll see a lot of times where that trade will result in a tender or a draft pick somewhere down the line. Unless the team is willing to give up assets for a short-term playoff rental, most teams won't give up assets to acquire a player without some serious background intel that can keep the player the following season. So if a kid is a 19-year-old, the team he's getting traded to wants a shot at keeping him the following year. If he's too high end of a player, they know he's going to go somewhere else. Like if our history is in 05 and he's getting traded to a 3HL team, there's no chance that that player is going to be content, not one of my kids, going to be content with playing back at that same level of play. They all want to climb the ladder of development. And I have to convince the team that his plan A is to play tier 2 for free. If I take tier 2, that's plan B, and you're going to be plan C. He doesn't make it to the first two options. You have his rights at this level or in this league, and usually that's enough. Some advisors take the executive's role into their own hands and evaluate what the market could be for a player. That's the case. Every player has different value. Every player does a different job, has a different personality, brings different things to the locker room and to a team. So we have to find where that player is going to have the most value, and we try to make that fit. And, the current team isn't going to go dig around the country for those opportunities and to identify those fits. That's what you have an advisor for. Most parents and most players can't figure that out. They don't know the whole dynamics. And let's face it, not every advisor has that well of a perspective to make those kind of decisions and calls. Sometimes we have to backdoor and block a trade. You know what? I'm not interested in having kids go to Helena right now. Not a good atmosphere. Don't go. Doesn't make any sense. Not interested in having kids go to Sheridan for a lot of good reasons, or El Paso for a lot of good reasons. There's places we just don't send our kids. Mid-cities, Austin. Those are two more. So something we watch for. We try to find opportunities that make sense. Yes, there's teams in the USPHL that fall into that category. A lot of them. Just the way it is. Using the threat of moving a player from unsanctioned hockey to sanctioned hockey, or from sanctioned hockey to unsanctioned hockey, is always on the table, and I don't even have to say it. They know, right? They know if a kid's a high enough prospect that there's probably going to be a number of teams from the other side of the fence that are willing to take a chance on that player. They can get him at no expense because there's no trades between non-sanctioned and sanctioned hockey. So be it. They don't really care. But that elephant is always in a room. We don't have to bring that up. Those coaches already know. So the cat and mouse game between the coach and the team and the player and I goes back and forth. And it's why it makes so much sense for us to work with teams and operators that already know the game, and we don't have to play a big battle with chess to get a trade done. See, the trade goes down. Teams don't want to be caught in trade for a kid that's not going to report. Every trade usually requires a player to report before the trade is executed or finalized. Other divorce agreements and trade requests are handled easily, and the sides hold no grudges after it goes down. When it's all said and done, hockey is a business. And the best way to handle business is to do business with your friends. There it is. My own art of the trade. Done this show or a version of the show last year, or how we do it almost every year around this time. Getting close to the end. There you go. So until tomorrow, you get Derek tomorrow, right? Hope that you enjoy your morning coffee and have a great day in hockey.